A young woman from Long Island is using her inspirational story to champion others. And she's made a podcast out of it.
Good for her. Ryan, Christopher,
yes.
I think I've emailed with Peri,
yes,
right?
Yes, Peri is the best. We love Peri, and she's a loyal Good Day viewer as well. She's from Long Island, and we're going to introduce you to Peri. She's from West Hempstead, and she has a very inspiring story, and she's asking others, you watching right now, to step out of line. Here at Delphi University, students are studying and bustling between classes, and we met up with a former student who just achieved her MBA, Peri Finkelstein.
I graduated in May 2022 with honors, and then in August 2023, I graduated with my master's, my MBA.
Peri was born with a rare form of muscular dystrophy, and despite being on a ventilator since she was 2 years young, her mom, Lori, says that she's defied odds her entire life.
We found a group of pediatricians who pushed us, and we went on from there. We got every doctor we could, every therapist we could, and we never gave up on her because Peri never gave up on herself.
Through my whole journey here, I found my voice, I found my confidence.
Confidence wasn't something that Peri felt she had as a young girl growing up, being bullied by peers who didn't understand her diagnosis, but the Long Island native, she's flipping the script.
I don't care what you think anymore. I don't care what you say about me. I am who I am.
Peri spends hours a day doing physical therapy just to get her day started, and she's defied the odds, taking part in 12 half marathons in a wheelchair, all to raise over $1 million for her nonprofit Team Peri Foundation, which supports children suffering illnesses. But she was recently inspired by her favorite actress, Alex Borstein, during her Emmys acceptance speech 5 years ago, paying tribute to her grandmother, a Holocaust survivor.
My grandmother turned to a guard. She was in line to be shot into a pit, and she said, "What happens if I step out of line?" And he said, "I don't have the heart to shoot you, but somebody will." And she stepped out of line, and for that I am here, and for that my children are here. So step out of line, ladies. Step out of line.
What a gift that you can be clear and authentic about your point of view.
Peri took those words to heart and launched her own podcast titled Step Out of Line, where she interviews celebrities, interesting New Yorkers, and beyond, and she taught herself to film, edit, and produce the show. And Peri's mom and podcast co-host has learned a lot from her daughter.
The podcast is a lot of fun. Peri does everything. She produces it, she gets the talent, she edits it. I'm just there as her voice, and before the podcast I'll do research, and then we'll go over it real quick. This is what I learned, she'll tell me what she learned, and then we'll talk about what we want to ask.
I'm so flattered to be guest 100. That's really awesome.
Peri has produced over 100 Step Out of Line podcast episodes, including this one with actress Mayim Bialik and the woman who inspired Peri to go on air, Alex Borstein.
You felt like you didn't fit in, and it was hard to try to fit in. I think if anyone feels like they fit in, they may be peaking too soon.
We find somebody's always relatable. You always find something that you have in common. We're often surprised, and people get really emotional talking to us because we ask them, how have you stepped out of line? That's the whole premise of the podcast.
Peri's most proud that she can make an impact and help others who might need a reminder to step out of line.
I know that I want to make the most of my life because it is precious. I know that, especially as I know my life may be cut shorter than others. So I don't want to waste my time worrying about what people are saying about me. I have the power to write my own story.
And Peri has a simple message for anyone dealing with adversity.
You have to learn how to fall and how to fall with grace and understand that it's part of the process and it's just what you have to do in order to become who you are today.
There she is. She certainly puts a smile on your face now. Peri is working on a book that is going to be coming out soon. Peri's dream interviews are Reese Witherspoon, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Eugene Levy. So if you're watching, maybe they'll end up on Peri's podcast. She turns 25 on New Year's Eve, and we mentioned her MBA, right, in the beginning. That was inspired by our friend Baruch Shemtov. He was friends with her on social media and said, look, Peri, you got to do this for yourself. It's not about achieving this and having it to show other people.
Right.
It's about yourself. So we love Baruch and that he was able to make this connection with us here.
Oh,
on
that's so nice.
And that's what I love about that story. She just talks about being yourself and doing what you want to do. Don't worry about other people. And I think so often, even more particularly this time of year, people get wrapped up in what other people think and their perceptions, or, you know, right gift, or I got to dress the right way, or whatever. It's like all of that is secondary if you're at peace with who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You got to be
It really
happy
is.
with yourself.
Well, thank you so much for
You're
introducing
welcome.
us to
Yes,
Peri.
we love Peri.
Yes.
Lots of love to
Continue
her.
to,
Yes.
continue to
Great
step
story,
out
Peri.
on
Absolutely.
Peri.
And
We like